went recruiting. So got to see a lot of good kids and a lot of good friends that are in coaching right now.
You guys had a good game plan for golf last year, it seemed like. Is it kind of the same thing this year with
Well, we can't tell them.
Right. I mean, a good performance.
I hope so. I mean, I think that you don't play golf, you play Cal, and you play Cal's system. And all the way back when they were at Louisiana Tech, I saw some of that film. They were really, really scary. And I knew eventually that they would do that at Cal, and I don't care who the quarterback is. These programs are systematic, and they got a guy that wasn't even there last year, and I believe he might be leading the nation in passing offense right now. So, our plan is, we still got to play hard. We got to execute. That's all I'm telling my guys. We have to out-execute a team that's really good at what they do, and we haven't been. And so that's my word for the whole week is that one word. I keep coming back to it.
Do you expect to see Webb, even if it doesn't matter, just based on
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
All I know is when we got ready to play Colorado, even though I have a lot of respect for their senior
Right.
quarterback because I think he is a catalyst to their football team because he's really tough. That, again, you're trying to beat someone's system, and sometimes I go out there and throw the ball, and you know what? I complete about 50% of my passes, so it's pretty scary. But yeah, I don't think it matters. Sometimes the thing Webb does really well, he's a big guy that can throw the ball deep, and he can throw it off his back foot and stuff like that. It makes him really dangerous. I don't certainly know what the other guy, if he played, was like, but I'm sure why would they recruit anyone different? They're recruiting the same type of guy.
Obviously, you said you were out recruiting this week, but what's kind of been the response from this team this Monday?
Well, I think it's really good news. It's just that it doesn't show on the field, but our players practice hard. They come out, they're determined. There's not dissension. There's not weird things that sometimes happen when things aren't going well and you feel a lot of pressure to do well. And I don't see that. And again, even the last Friday, we had a great spirited practice. And then that happened on Saturday, and it's really tough to figure some of that out. But attitude's fantastic, and you got to contribute or give our head coach credit for that, because it's easy to start yelling and screaming and pointing fingers, and I've been through it before where that kind of stuff does happen. Maybe not, where you can see it, but we haven't lost our kids, and we feel like we can go out Friday night and beat Cal. So that's encouraging,
You talk about preparing for a system and not a quarterback. Obviously, golf gone this year. Your DBs have a little bit more experience underneath their belt. How do you think that they're going to match up with that Bear Raid?
Well, I mean, these, we've already seen it from Colorado. Colorado and Cal are more similar because they run the ball well, and they've got two really good backs at Cal, maybe three, and that's made a difference in their program right now. So it's not so much that we just got to learn how to execute what we do, and we don't do that. And when we don't, it's obvious, it's ugly, and it hurts. But that's what we're going back to: try to execute against this really, really talented offense. Really good.
As you guys kind of get ready for the second half of the season, 3-3 last year in the first half, and then you turned it around pretty well. What has to happen for you guys to make an improvement?
We got to win. That's it. We have to win. We have to learn how to win, and win as a team, offensively and defensively and special teams. And so there is no turnaround in a 4-game losing streak if you play good and lose. So we got to play great and win, and we're going to have to play great in every game because we don't beat anybody that can't move the football or slow us down. So win.
Do you guys talk about that with your team at all, that urgency, or is that just kind of understood at this point?
Well, I hope so. It is understood. You still have to go back to when people talk about things like details. Well, specifically a detail is this, and we better get better at tackling. We better make sure against this team that we handle the deep ball because they have scored on everybody on the deep ball more than once. And, then we have to put those two things together, those are details. Tackling and playing a deep ball. Keeping the ball in front of us, getting off blocks. And it never ends. It's the list is really long. Like a shopping list at Costco, and I haven't been there in a year. So that's what we have to do.
Coach, you said the team's attitude is very good. Characterize the mood of the team.
I would say it's the same. It's the same. I think it's very positive. It's very refreshing. I mean, I don't go into it wondering if some guys are going to start to look for their first Christmas off. But I don't see that. And I think it's credit to starting from our head coach all the way down to our coordinators and then the position coaches. And, people win or lose, we're Ducks. And we have pride in what we do in our program, and we represent it. And it's fun to represent it for how many years and have great seasons and think you're all everything, and all of a sudden it's swept like right up from under you like a rug, and then you got to see who you are again.
Coach, when you're recruiting, obviously if you're recruiting a player, you have faith in him. But how much, when you're in that process, do you think about maybe him from a football standpoint not meeting expectations, and then like from recruiting standpoint, how do you adjust to maybe getting a certain amount of players so that you might have maybe some sort of backup or
You're talking about recruiting that I'm doing now?
Yeah, now in general, sort of how much do you really think about maybe the
recruiting
possibility
like
that,
every 10 minutes. I learned a long time ago that I'm a really good coach when I have good players, and so the recruiting, I'm not understanding your question exactly, but the recruiting process and evaluation is nearly the hardest thing we do. And with limited ability to go out and really see people and work them out, like some of our other teams in our league are able to, they're just geographically advantaged, make less mistakes when you can get a guy out on the field and really work them out and know who they are, know them for years. They come to your school. Like with the Southern Cal schools, they go to those schools since they were freshmen. It's a really good advantage for them. So I think about recruiting all the time, and I feel like a lot of times I'm lucky.
Is it harder to recruit when you're going in to someone's house saying, you're on a 4-game losing streak
I don't
versus
know.
the national championship?
I don't know.
Do you use
I'm recruiting you.
I'm
I'm recruiting you,
Do you
right?
use the same technique?
And we're winning every game. Just
Okay.
came back from a national championship game, and guess what? They still go somewhere else. Now we're not doing very well. The need's no different. The sell is no different. But you're not going to come to Oregon because you got a chance to play. You got a chance to represent this school. We need you really bad, maybe more than we did if we were winning and we could redshirt some guys. We got to get better players in here. We got to get them now. We got to get guys that are determined to come in here and change programs. Again, like Washington has done and Colorado has done. Cal has done it. They weren't so good a few years ago, and now they are. They're capable of beating anybody. Washington State's the same way. We used to beat them. You could see it coming. You could see it. Now, how do you just stay up with them? And now we got to get it back, and given the opportunity, we will.
Thank you.
What's that?